Jen Psaki wrote, the president accepted Dr. Eric Lander's resignation letter this evening with gratitude for his work on the pandemic.
I didn't serve this country to be bullied by a prime minister that ran away like a chicken. Who runs away from their people?
Daryl, holding a Canadian flag and wearing a military uniform on Breitbart at the truckers' protest in Canada's capital. Daryl claims Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's vaccine mandate is hurting working-class Canadians. The Prime Minister has called protesters insurrectionists. Judge Hugh McLean has now ordered truckers' horns to be silenced for the next 10 days. USA Radio News.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and I wasn't happy with the different product. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all-natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Randall Wiseman in for Tyrant Spearman. While we're hearing a lot about rising input costs, the story from Clint Thompson notes another concern this year is fungicide availability for peanut growers.
Fungicides were essential for Southeast peanut producers suppressing diseases during the rainy 2021 season. Bob Kimmerwright, University of Georgia Extension plant pathologist, is concerned, though, that growers may not have access to those same fungicides amid the current supply chain crisis.
You know, if someone was to ask me what I think the biggest threat to peanut production going into Georgia and the Southeast going into 2022, in my wheelhouse, diseases, is going to be the availability of fungicides. Just like we're finding any kind of commodity, any kind of product, because of supply chain issues, we're finding a problem with getting them. That remains the same for agricultural chemicals as well. The ones I'm most concerned with are some of our generic products, the azoxystrobin, the pyraclostrobin, the tebuconazole. Generic products, older products, but they're oftentimes used as gap fillers in our programs because they're inexpensive, but they're the ones that are having the most trouble getting from countries like China and getting the raw materials of what we need.
He added that most premium fungicides should be available, barring a drastic increase in acreage. There are not expected to be shortages of Convoy, which is used for white mold control, or chlorothalonil, which provides activity against early and late leaf spot. For more information, see southeastagnet.com. For Southeast AgNet, I'm Clint Thompson.
The Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, is a continuous sign-up program allowing landowners or operators to apply for financial and technical assistance from many types of conservation practices. And USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida has made it easy to get more details. Just log on to www.fl.nrcs.usda.gov. You'll find links to more detailed information on the overall EQIP program, or simply stop by your local NRCS office. Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a cooler day with occasional rain. High today 56 to 68. Then look for a shower this evening. Otherwise, cloudy skies tonight. Low 47 to 55. Cloudy in the morning Wednesday. Then a mix of clouds and sunshine in the afternoon. High tomorrow 64 to 66. Plenty of sunshine Thursday. High 66 to 71. Clouds and sunshine Friday. High 71 to 77. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. That's right. It's in the garden with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin. She had an appointment this morning, though, so she's here. Good morning, Carolyn.
I made it.
Yeah, and without any kind of distress or any kind of stress.
No, it was. I got lucky at the one light. The light was green there at 27th and 20, and because the school bus was down the block, keeping all the traffic down there because the light was flashing. So it was like, everybody could make their left-hand turns unobstructed
because
and safely.
that left-hand turn. If you're coming from 200 on 27th Avenue, and you have to turn left onto 20th, right there, the Kangaroo gas station, to go behind CF,
behind the mall. Behind CF.
To go behind CF.
Yep.
That left turn can take you a while.
It can. But other times it's like, just breeze on through. And this was one of those because
the school bus.
I got the school bus. So it's like, thank you. Because I was thinking, oh boy, I'm telling them I'm on my way, and watch me get caught with the school bus. And then it's like, no school bus.
So it's rainy today.
It is.
No
it's
thunder,
rainy.
though.
It's cold. Wait, we've only had one thunder. So, Puxatawny Phil and I are not buddies.
We may have winter until July.
Nah, we just had 6 more weeks of winter. But you think Puxatawny Phil had said 6 more weeks of winter, and I said it ain't spring yet.
No,
for us and we are and
we're in February.
We're in February exactly. And I've used that term for years, and it doesn't matter that this isn't as cold as wherever it is that you are from. For us here in Central Florida, we are, what are we at, 50, what's the temperature? 49 the last I had looked. Let me see if I bring it up real quick. If it'll change for me real quick. Still looks like it's about 49 degrees. 59, 69, that's 20 degrees below our seasonal average.
Right. Yeah, I got 48 and rainy is what I got,
mine's still showing 49. I guess I don't have signal in here too well. But that's, it's 20 degrees colder than what we normally are. So if you think about, if you are from somewhere where right now 40 degrees would be your average high, you're talking 20 degrees is what you would be experiencing at 20 degrees below your average high. So it is wintertime. This is why we don't put fertilizers down. It would have been a waste of money. No matter what you put down right now, it's not going to green your lawn up. You don't want your plants to grow. You don't want the lawn to grow. So it's still just hold on to those spreaders. If you need to deal with plants, read seed catalogs. You can start your seeds inside, but not out in the garden yet.
In this kind of weather, still though, people will do dumb things in this kind of weather.
Oh yeah.
Like yesterday, I'll give you a prime example. Yesterday, I said, I'm with my Sunday when it was cold Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And I was with my wife, and I go, I bet there's people playing golf. And we drove by the golf course. Yeah. Sure enough, it was rainy and everything.
Oh yeah.
People out there playing golf.
They had a tea time.
Let me tell you something. I play golf a lot when I'm healthy, and I have a rule. And I think it's a great rule. And it should be a rule about working outside the yard and stuff. Same rule.
Yeah.
If it's below 50 degrees or rainy, we have too many good days to be outside doing anything.
Do it right.
Anything below 50 or rainy.
This is a phrase that I got off of somebody else. It's like, there's no reason to be out in the rain on motorcycle, bicycle, whatever, this and that. It's like, I like myself too much.
There's no reason to be out with a trowel digging weeds.
I have a pot of soup at the house. I made the other day because it was cold, and I go, you know what, I want soup. This is soup weather. And so when I get done here, and yes, well, we know Galen's not listening right now, but I'm heading over to the blood bank because I'm doing my platelet donation. So get out there. There is critical need. Get out there and donate. There's no that you can do in the rain.
Today is
Go ahead. I mean, it takes what? A blood donation, I think, takes about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah. I mean, I'm going for 2 hours, but I'm doing platelets, So
today is turkey and cheese sandwich and tomato soup type day.
Yeah. I've got chicken noodle soup, and so it'd probably be a toasted cheese.
And
with
you got to
it
dip the sandwich in the soup.
You got to have a bowl big enough to dunk your sandwich, exactly, or saltines.
So we are in the middle of February.
We are in the middle of February.
I tell people it's the worst month of the year
in Florida. This is our winter time is from mid-January through February and sometimes into early March.
But people are itching.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's February and it's bad, people are itching to get ready to for
just
spring
get
to
out
sprung.
there. Right.
They want spring to spring.
Yeah. And it's just not happening yet, and I'm not seeing it. I tried to look for a longer range forecast, but the only thing you can get is 10 days, really.
And 10 days doesn't get you above 65, 68.
No. It might sneak a temporary 69, 70, but it's like for an hour or two is all you'll get it. And yesterday when that sun came out, I think the temperature got to 61 or 62.
Yeah, they said it was going to get to 66.
Yeah,
Nowhere close.
No, it didn't. The sun didn't come out early enough, but when it did, it felt very good. It's wintertime. Just time to relax on it. You make your plans, write your lists. Seeds can be ordered. Seeds can be purchased. You can start your spring vegetables that you're going to start inside. You can start them inside now. That's not a problem. Go ahead and start them, because then you've got that 6-week period. It puts you at like the end of March now to get them ready, get them going. So in the house is fine. Just outside, putting the seeds in the ground, they won't germinate.
No. The
And
ground's
so
too cold.
The ground's too cold. They're just not going to come up. And if they do come up, they're gonna have a hard time because it's just too chilly for them. Green beans, are a great example. They're a really fast growing crop, but if they usually germinate somewhere in around 7 days. But 7 days from now, it's still 40 degrees at night, 38 to 40 degrees at night, and only 60 during the day.
And it has the potential, because I remember a friend of mine sold
to frost.
2013. He sold the shirts here in Ocala. Sold 500 shirts. He said, I survived the winter 2013, February 23rd and 24th.
Right,
because it was 21 degrees.
Right. And the March 13th storm was one I had planted early. I think we had a pleasant February, so I think 1st of March I had planted some stuff, and then I planted again after the 15th.
Because on the 13th it froze.
Yep.
Good morning, you're on with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning, Hugh.
Say, I do a lot of walking at where I live here at my mobile home park here with my dog. I try to get about 3 miles in a day. And boy, I tell you, it just seems like everybody's pruning all that dead stuff back because you just can't stand to look at it. And they shouldn't be doing it, But I would say probably 90% of the people have trimmed their stuff all the way back because it was so ugly looking.
Right. But this cold weather. I mean,
look at ugly.
Weather,
look at the ugly, but don't touch it.
Yeah. I mean, to knock the leaves off of something that's got, leaves that are just sort of hanging on, if you go through and you can touch it and they fall off, that's not pruning. But, I'm still concerned. We never know exactly when this is going to be over.
We do not.
Correct. I was over by my neighbors here the other day on a walk, and I stopped. And that was last Friday. It was a very beautiful day. And we sat down and chatted a while. And I looked in the middle of his front yard. There was a unusual looking birdhouse hanging, and it had no holes in it, but it had these little slots. And he said it was for butterflies.
A butterfly house, yeah.
And I said, what? I mean, those butterflies, they fold their wings up and they go through these little cracks.
Yeah.
And he said, I'd like to see that. I never heard of anything like that. And is there like food in there for them or?
Yeah,
it's a protection is what it is, that they have a place to get out of, inclement weather. Their lifespan is so short that, they have to be protected from, predatory, but they will go in. So they must have a pretty nice butterfly garden during most of the year.
Hugh, we got to thank you for the call. We got other people that are calling in. Thanks for the call.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Call back, caller. Now that the line's cleared up.
Sorry about that.
They've called back twice. So
didn't think we were that long.
Well, see, there they are.
There it is.
Good morning, you're on with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. You're on.
You're on the air.
Oh, hey, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Are there any plants or vegetables that are better to plant by seeds or to go by ones that are already started at Lowe's or stores?
Right. The ones I like to do by seeds right out in the garden are like green beans. Any of your larger seeds are the easy ones because they're you're not gonna you don't spill them that easy, and they can go right in. You can see where you're putting them, and things like that are really tiny, like lettuces and carrots and that are just direct seeded. To me, it's kind of silly to buy a lettuce plant when you can buy a pack of seed for a third of the cost, than buying a pre-grown or started plant from the Bonnie display. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, and those I usually like to buy them. It's just unless I'm finding something unique, or that I can't get at that I'm looking for something that I know I can't get at those at like the Bonnie places or anybody else that might be selling some vegetable starts. In the house, I like to start my squash and my cucumbers just because I can give them a heartier head start before they have to go out in the elements and face the pickle worms and the squash vine borers and things like that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for the call. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. Talk with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin. When you talk about seeds and everything, you do bring up a good point because some people prefer to have the plants that are started.
Sure.
Some people prefer the seeds. Like when we did the pepper plant and everything, the bell pepper plants and the cucumbers and all, we bought already plants
already started plants. Yeah.
Right, and put them in the ground. But we did that, of course, in June and July.
Right.
So it was a little easier then because it's warm and everything.
And it's set and they're ready to go. And peppers like it warm to germinate. So, a tomato will germinate even if it's a little cooler, kind of at room temperature. Peppers take it to be warmer, and so do eggplant. So it's sometimes that's a little hard to have in the house is a little higher unless you go out and you buy the little heat mat or something like that to keep underneath it. But if if you're just trying to grow some veggies for yourself or for the family or having the kids come out and help, green beans are great for with kids because the seed are big and easily handled by them and easy to plant. You just put it on the ground and poke it in with your finger. So it's kind of fun.
That's the question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
When you got nice turned over dirt and everything, what are we talking? Half an inch in the ground?
It usually depends on something like a green bean. It's actually about an inch plus.
Okay.
They actually go pretty deep. Most of your smaller seeds, the smaller the seed, the shallower it goes. So like lettuce and carrots are something that you have a nice prepared raked off area. You just sort of put your seed there and tamp it down. And that
almost
action,
like ryegrass.
That action is just enough to make sure it has good contact with soil and just barely covered. A seed that's a little larger is like a tomato seed or a pepper seed. You're probably going to put it about a quarter inch down, not real deep because they're a small seed, so they don't need to be buried. But something large like a green bean, inch and a half. So cucumber and squash, you're looking like an inch. Approximately, or with some folks will do cucumbers and squash in a mound where you get the soil up a little bit and then put down so that the vines are not laying right on the
where it
down
runs
in the dirt. Right. So just right on top, but down in there about an inch.
Yeah, we when we put the cucumbers out last year, you told us because they were already plants.
Right.
So we put them right by the chain link fence, and they just went up the chain link fence.
They just went ahead and took off and did what they needed to do,
which was good because it kept the lawnmowers away from them and everything. So, and that's key is to making sure that your area especially if you have a lawn company that comes and cuts your grass and everything.
Yes.
You got to make sure that they're aware of where it is, or you build it such that they can't get to it.
They have no need to be near it. That's one reason raised beds are great is because now you have an edge where if they're going to take a weed whacker, it's going to be on the outer portion of that. And also with raised beds, once your soil is ready, you never walk in it again.
You
That's
never
what
touch
you
it
never
again.
have to. You never have to turn it over again, because a lot of times people over-till their soil, and you actually lose nutrition out of that top portion of the soil. You get too many air pockets. It's too airy. Water can actually even run off on those because it's too loose. Water doesn't soak into it.
Speaking of soaking in, this rain we're getting today is one of these good rains
it's
where it's going to soak again.
Yes, it's a really good rain. The rain we had the other day was a good rain. So this is really helping out the turf. You're not having to turn on the sprinkler system, because again, we're still at that point where about every 7 to 10 days, because it's cool, we don't need to water every week, twice a week, because water's not evaporating. The grass, the plants are not taking up that water the way they would if they were actively growing.
Well, I know that things aren't actively growing, and I tell you how I know. Like yesterday was Monday.
Okay.
My lawn
Your
guy
lawn
comes
guy usually comes
on Mondays.
Right.
But now he's every other week.
Right.
And you lose track of what every other week
is.
you lose
Right.
track. So we were talking about it, and Susan goes, I don't know if it's this week or next week. And I go, no, they were here today. She goes, how can you tell? The grass didn't need to be cut and everything. I go, tire tracks and some of the wet dirt around the driveway, stuff like that.
Right.
And the driveway was edged.
Yeah, there you go.
You had to look, but you had to look for the clues.
You had to know. Yeah, you had
because
to find
the grass is not getting cut.
And whatever leaves were there were now mowed over again. And
the grass isn't getting cut because it's not growing.
It's not growing. It's not doing anything. They're just doing cleanup going through. And that's all you're really going to do. And I was speaking with a customer yesterday, and he was looking, because if you look even out here, the only stuff that's green are the weeds.
That's it.
But trying to treat for those right now gets a little tough too, because, well, it's cool, so it may not take it up very well. You don't want to burn the grass that you've got going by putting down a herbicide that's that's dormant, because it can actually be detrimental to the turf that's already there. So you're going to look in at spot spraying on things like that, or getting out there. Hey, you can see them now. You can go ahead and dig them up.
Yes.
You can dig them out of there, and your grass will recover once the growing season starts.
Snowbirds, because snowbirds, come down between. They start arriving in November, and
November, yeah.
Some stay up north until after the new year because they want to do the holiday and everything.
Right.
So in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the last stragglers of snowbirds have gotten here.
Right.
And they got here to brown grass.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too late to throw out ryegrass and green that grass up?
It's February. It's mid-February, March. You'll get April. You might get a couple months out of it.
For people who want the green grass.
Really want the green grass. I mean, it'll come up for a while. I mean, it's probably getting a little harder to find some seed, just because I think
it's late in the season.
It's a little late in the season, so the stores just didn't get more in. When they got their supply, that was it.
Same reason it's hard. It's getting harder to find spiral hams and turkeys.
Because the season is over. Right. So if you want a turkey, you're asking your butcher at your favorite market.
Right.
Where do you guys have any frozen turkeys back there? And they probably do.
But you gotta ask.
But you have to ask for them. Right. Yeah.
By the way,
they'll be back out for Easter.
By the way, I know that because Susan just cooked a butterball. The breasts are fantastic.
Oh,
yeah. Good morning. You're on with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
Hey there, this is Cheryl again. I have a question.
Okay.
Is it okay to put rye seed out to attract the cranes?
I don't know if the rye seed's actually going to attract the cranes. I mean, you're talking in the sandhills, the sandhill cranes.
Yeah, I thought they liked the ryegrass.
They eat bugs and lizards and things like that, and frogs. They're more of a carnivore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty, thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's those guys, you'll see them going through fields, and they just they're going around, and they're grabbing. They have a long bill.
Yeah.
They're able to poke down there in the earth and grab insects and grab lizards.
Well, we see the little white birds that do the same thing with
the egret and
and they're out here at the airport, and that's why they use fireworks here.
Right. Right. They legally
use fireworks
to chase
for
the
beaver
birds off.
dams and chasing birds off.
That's
you know,
right.
That's legal use.
That's illegal use, right? Well, they do them. What is it? There's up there. Is it in Hawthorne where one of the last few pecan
groves? Yeah, it's up in
groves. Yeah,
and
they have an air cannon.
Yes.
That's on and it's not on. It's on a timer, but it's not. It's not synchronized.
Right.
So it's just So it happens, and it is.
And nobody knows exactly.
So when it's going to go boom.
They know the general time.
Right.
Within 20 minutes.
Because it's if you get it too regular, the birds get used to it.
The birds will figure it out.
Yeah,
right.
The birds get used to it. So
it's on
the squirrels.
It's on a timer that I know the.
And the word that we're after. Yeah.
I know the person that owns the.
The grove. Yeah.
And it's on a timer, but it's on and I forget the word he uses for it, but it's on a timer that he knows it's set it's at 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, but it can be anywhere within a 20-minute radius around that.
Right.
Is what it is. So it might go off at 8:13 or 8:43.
Right. Right. Yeah. So it just goes around. Yeah. It just does its thing.
Goes off twice an hour, I think.
Yeah.
But you never know what
what time.
Because you don't think that birds are that smart, but
the birds smart. And squirrels too. Because I think squirrels they say one squirrel can eat 35 pounds of pecans in a season.
Yeah, probably. I would think with the acorns, where they can eat acorns and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been watching recently just some TikTok videos.
Okay.
And one of the funniest I've seen is a guy this winter up in Georgia.
Okay.
Took his feeder, and he put cashews, not cashews, pistachios, but peeled pistachios, and he put them in the feeder.
Okay.
And it was a big enough feeder where you could get it.
Right.
So squirrels have been all over his feeder, except for he Vaseline the feeder. And then he set up the GoPro to watch what happens and these squirrels will not give up.
No.
They're so keyed in on getting that food.
Right.
They have no idea they're never getting it. Never getting it.
Until they get enough wiped off. It's surprising how they how
they're
they
dogged
can do.
in their they're dogged in their desire to get that food.
Oh yeah, yes.
Because they'd rather have a free easy meal than yeah. So
just one of those kind of things. But yeah, that
I never heard of putting ryegrass out to bring birds around. Though.
I hadn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, usually we don't want.
Although they say when you put ryegrass out, you should put a little layer of hay over the top.
With any with any grass seed that I mean, it's not something that people did a lot here. And I don't know if it's because grass usually germinates maybe a little more quickly than it does elsewhere. It was, up north, everybody used the hay. And now in our store, every time we sell a bale of that seeding straw, they seem to send us another pallet. There's about 35 bales of it on a pallet.
Well,
so somebody buys two bales and they send another pallet. It's like, okay.
Remember, our grass here that we like here, Bermuda and St. Augustine, it's more of a ground vine than grass up north.
Yes.
We have ground vine. That's what my dad said the best way to get Bermuda to grow
is chop it up.
Sprig 6 or 7 pieces and take a hoe and try to kill it.
Yeah.
You'll have a yard full.
In no time. And that's what's nice about St. Augustine as well, is that you can it'll repair itself.
Yeah.
And if you want it a little quicker, you can either take some sprigs from a part of the yard that won't be noticeable, or a little plug of it, and put it into that area where you want it. This time of year, I probably wouldn't do that if you had some. Say you went out and when it's nice out, not raining. Don't go play in the rain.
Yeah.
But digging up the weeds in that, putting some compost or something across those areas and patching plaster, it'll heal itself come spring.
We'll be right back with more with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
Eric Lander, a science advisor to President Biden and director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, has submitted a letter of resignation. An internal White House investigation concluded that Lander bullied and demeaned his subordinates and violated the White House workplace policy. White House spokesperson Jen Psaki wrote, "The president accepted Dr. Eric Lander's resignation letter this evening with gratitude for his work on the pandemic."
I didn't serve this country to be bullied by a prime minister that ran away like a chicken. Who runs away from their people?
Daryl holding a Canadian flag and wearing a military uniform on Breitbart at the truckers' protest in Canada's capital. Daryl claims Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's vaccine mandate is hurting working-class Canadians. The Prime Minister has called protesters insurrectionists. Judge Hugh McLean has now ordered truckers' horns to be silenced for the next 10 days. USA Radio News.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
Deirdre's not coming in today, but we have that whole bachelorette party.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, a potential sign of flu or COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Exergen Temporal Scanners are available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
We've been talking about Relief Factor on our show for quite some time now.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, folks. Now is the time to start thinking about that yard or garden for spring, and that means a visit to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. And guess what? Those super popular dwarf, ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas are back, and they're still at the same low price, just $3.99 for these hardy beauties. They bloom practically all year long. Other hot items from this week's ad, Bob Wine's famous sun and shade-loving camellias. Prices start at just $19.99, and now during the Camellia Show Spectacular is a great time to get yours. A fabulous truckload sale on citrus trees, including those popular new smaller citrus bushes, starting at only $24.99. For all this and the week's best deals, go to BobWinesCameliaGardens.net, and then come on over during the Camellia Show Spectacular at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. Now don't you miss it.
New arrivals and new savings are waiting for you at Blockers Furniture. With over 80,000 square feet of the best selection and best prices you can find on furniture, mattresses, home accents, accessories, and more. And with new trucks arriving weekly, Blockers has the best available in-stock selection. Unlike many other furniture companies that will have you waiting for months to get what you want or need, come see everything that Blockers has to offer. Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, next to Hobby Lobby.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. Ask Carolyn some questions, get her advice. You can do it right here by calling 622-9622. Carolyn, we were talking in the break about we're just looking out here at the commercial grounds of the airport, and it's clear what you've been saying. You can see green,
right?
But it's all weeds,
right?
But there are patches of green, very nice green.
Yeah, nice bright green. But even those at this moment aren't really growing. So trying to kill them off is going to be a little harder. Temperatures are cool. A lot of times those chemicals just don't work if you're doing a chemical thing. Even you're not going to go out and spray vinegar on a overcast day and have it do a lot of good either. So if if that stuff really bothers you, get out there and hand dig it. The lawn will recover. Excuse me. If you have St. Augustine, what you don't get usually, the St. Augustine will choke out over time. And you were even saying, with the Bermuda as well. So it's not, if it's green, mow it, or if it really is bothering you, you can get out there and fix it.
You can hand pull it.
Hand pull it right now. Yeah.
Good morning, you're on with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, this is Rick. I tell you what, I don't call in a lot, but I listen whenever I can if I'm down this way. You guys are such a great source of information. And I think the people in this town, I'd be really lucky to have you to get this great source.
Well, thank you.
Well, my pleasure. But my wife loves kohlrabi. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I do.
It's okay. When's a good time to plant it here?
It is a cool season crop, so you could plant it now. You could probably get one more plantings in on the kohlrabi before it starts to get too warm. So I would, if you get a packet of seed, I'd probably plant a few, wait a couple weeks, plant a few, wait a couple weeks, and plant a few, and you can probably still get enough planted by early March, mid-March, and be able to still get a crop before it starts to get too warm and tries to start to bolt.
So put it in now?
Yeah. Yep.
Put it in the dirt now?
Put it in the dirt now.
What's the earliest you could do it then?
You could have probably started, say, November.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is one of the cool season, like your cabbages and broccolis and things like that. It likes the cooler weather for us.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's one of the reasons we listen to you guys.
Right, there you
All
go.
Right, well, thank you very much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Bye.
You too. Thanks. Yeah, kohlrabi is one of those unusual. You don't find it in the supermarket kind of vegetables that are.
What kind of vegetable is it? I've never heard of it.
It has leaves that are similar looking to, say, a collard, just smaller, but it grows an above ground. What would you call that?
I don't know.
Like a swollen stem.
How do you spell it?
Kohlrabi. R-O-B-I.
Kohlrabi.
Yeah. So it's like an above ground turnip or above ground radish.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Looks like an above ground turnip.
Right, and you can eat it raw. You can slice it and put it in your salad. You can it's like a crisp kind of thing. I think a more mild than a radish, I believe. And you can
never
cook
even
them
heard
as well.
of it.
Yeah.
And I love radishes.
Yeah. So kohlrabi might, it's one of those things that you got to get seed for, and there's also purple in that, so you can get, and probably the purple has more nutritional portions, just because, like they say, eat a rainbow, so
right.
you're eating, and they didn't mean Skittles,
no.
even though I try, but
you love
Starburst,
Skittles, don't you?
And Starburst, yeah. Oh
yeah. That was one of the questions last week in trivia was how many colors are in the rainbow?
There's a lot of colors.
No, there's only 7.
There's only 7, yeah.
Because remember second grade, Roy G. Biv?
Oh, okay.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And the one everybody forgets is indigo.
That's, because indigo is a shade of blue.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
But but like you said, if you keep your garden rainbowed,
right,
you got a pretty good
and your dinner plate and and things like that. The more color in it, your dark green leafy vegetables, your red vegetables, orange vegetables, yellow, and things like that is usually have your highest. And things like a white potato is one that we try to limit.
And they'll all grow here.
And it will. I mean, some things are harder to grow here than others, or we have to grow them in the cool season where up north they can plant pretty much everything we plant throughout the year. They plant in one season. They're planting cabbage and broccoli and things like that might go in the ground a little earlier than their tomatoes, but not by much because their growing season is much shorter. Here, where we plant our tomatoes in mid-March so that it doesn't get too hot for them come June and July, and then we start over in September, October, November, putting in those cabbages and lettuce. They've already had theirs all planted and growing and harvested.
All at the same,
same time. Yeah, near the same time. So.
Yeah, it's hard keeping track of all the things.
It is
in the pier because it is much in Michigan. Things go in the ground very close together because the growing season is short.
It's short. And
here, you can put something in the ground almost every month.
Exactly. Our worst time is actually the heat of the summer, is that August, July and August time for us in the garden. And it gets a little frustrating sometimes for us is because, like, you think of salad as a summer side or main dish, but our lettuces grow better here in the middle of the winter. So
because of the mild winters.
Because of the mild winters, and it likes the cooler temperatures versus the heat. So it's like, do I really want a salad in February? But that's when ours are growing.
We're on the keto diet. Susan's got the keto.
Yeah.
Last 2 nights in a row, salad for dinner.
Salad for dinner.
Had
had
beef tips one night.
Okay.
Last night she took 3 of the Vidalia onion hamburger patties.
Ah, yeah.
And just chopped those up after she cooked them.
Yeah.
Perfectly good on salad.
Oh, I call mine either a Big Mac salad or a cheeseburger salad.
Yeah, it's perfectly good.
I love that as a salad.
I had the avocado ranch on it. Ooh,
there you go. Yeah. There you go.
But I don't think it's done anything. I weighed in the same as I did 2 days ago.
Well, but all that stuff. You didn't put the weight on overnight.
No. It has nothing to do with it, Carolyn. Yeah. It's that after Susan goes to bed every night, then I start eating the chocolate chip cookies, the potato chips.
Yep. That's a dumb.
Not going to eat it in front of her.
Right. You got to get them out. You got to eat them and make them gone. And that's
don't let her know I do that though.
No. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. You got to get a little healthier cookie there.
Yeah. Well, she bought me the keto ice cream.
Oh, okay. No, not a fan. I do the frozen yogurt.
Pretty good.
The Publix frozen yogurt, yeah. But then again, I get it's like either the dulce de leche, so it's got the caramel in it. But if you do it, if you think about it this way, I know this has nothing to do with gardening, but
we're talking about strawberries.
Strawberries and things like that. Is get something that is approximately the portion size, and portion it out. So this is what I can have. It's my treat, and just even regular, say the sugar-free yogurt. I want my yogurt to have flavor, so I do get like the vanilla.
Right.
But I get the sugar-free. Have my strawberries, It's not whipped cream, but it makes a nice dessert. Strawberries are in season.
Strawberries, because they're in season, there's a lot of people are putting funny memes out and everything.
Okay.
And the strawberry growers of Florida put out a meme that just made me laugh.
Okay.
And it was a guy dressed all in pink.
Okay.
And he had on a pink set of sunglasses and everything. He goes, "I'm a complete vegan. And you can even tell because I use strawberry milk because it's not made by a cow or anything." And he's got strawberry milk. One guy comes on, one of the growers come on, he goes, "Where's the udder on that strawberry?" But it was all geared about strawberries.
Right, because it's strawberry
season.
Strawberry
season. This is vegan milk because it doesn't come from cows. It comes from strawberry.
Comes from a strawberry. Okay, no, I just cut up my strawberries and I got a bunch of them. Actually, I have a few more, and may because it's Valentine's, I may have to get myself some dipping chocolate.
Now we know strawberries grow well down in Lakeland and that area,
Plant City,
but you can grow them well up here.
Oh yeah, you can grow them all. You can grow strawberries in quite a wide area. Here in Florida, they're not so much the perennial as they are up north. Again, trying to get the plant to live through the summer months is our hard part, is because of the disease issues. You can do it. I've known people who have taken and either moved their strawberries or they'll shade cloth them to help to keep it a little cooler.
But bacteria likes heat.
Bacteria likes heat and moisture, and that becomes our biggest downfall is the fungal issues. But that, and if you can get them, or if you get a source of for the strawberries that do well here, they're usually inexpensive enough that you can replant every year, or you just, if you've got, say, a strawberry pot, that's one that has all the holes in the side,
right?
And grow yourself a few. You can probably keep that going on a, not necessarily producing berries, but keep the plants going on a year-round basis.
And
just watch for spider mites.
Am I right in saying that the seeds on the outside of the strawberry, those little bitty seeds, are actually these seeds?
Those are the seeds. Those are strawberries.
They're so small.
They're so tiny, and they don't usually get stuck in your teeth.
No, but they're so small. But you just rake it. Just chip some of those off.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, most of the plants we have, are going to be hybrids.
Right.
And so I'm not up to date on the most popular ones that are for Florida that the growers, I know years ago they were growing the Sweet Charlies, and the Festival I know was another one. I'd have to look up the different varieties. Nowadays what you buy in at the Bonnie has a monopoly. They supply all the big box stores in vegetable and herb plants. So they're growing something that's going to grow in multiple locations, not just here in Central Florida.
A question just popped in my head because I've never asked this before to you, but it's one of my favorite. We talk about strawberries. One of my favorite fruits I've only seen grown in the wild, because that's how I know them. I put on a pair of jeans pants and a long sleeve shirt, and you go find a thicket of blackberries, and you just take your little
take your little bucket,
and you fill it up.
Yeah, you got the cup that's sitting in your back seat of your car, and you spotted one, blackberry patch on the side of the road.
Fill it up. But are blackberries? I mean, I know they obviously you can grow them grow them because they grow in the wild.
Yes.
But how is that? Is that an easy fruit to grow?
Actually, it's not that hard to grow. The biggest thing with the blackberries is knowing when to prune and how to prune. That's where you end up with some of it, and trellis them off, and that way you've got them, instead of sprawling all over the ground. And there are thornless blackberries.
Stop.
Which makes it a little easier,
and
they'll still be berries as big as your thumb. Yeah, the ones you find wild on the side of the road, sometimes they're small, but they are very tasty.
You can find the small ones, but sometimes you'll find the ones the size of your thumb.
Yeah, nice big ones. You get them home and pour a little milk on them.
There ain't nothing better than a good blackberry.
A little milk, a little spoonful of sugar,
but you can so they're the pruning issues are the issues.
Is with that is otherwise they don't require a special pH in the soil like blueberries would, but blackberries do very well down here.
Well, yeah, we know that because they're in the woods
everywhere.
They're
in the woods everywhere. Oh, yeah.
You find your good.
You find your good, but watch out if you're picking them in the wild because the snakes like to be underneath there too.
Oh yeah. No, you go and make a lot of noise around the blackberry bush first.
Before you get
We would go
circle it a few times, stomping your feet, and
when we'd go blackberry picking, we'd carry a boat oar with us.
Okay, so
and just beat the ground and beat the bushes and everything. So and we'd always take Mom's big measuring cup.
Okay, get the big 4-cup measuring cup,
fill it up.
Yeah.
Because while we ate blackberries, our favorite thing was take them home and then get cobbler made out of it.
Okay. See, now I like the blackberry. I just like to take little bowl of vanilla yogurt and that, and just a bunch of blackberries.
You do remember Steel Magnolias, right?
Yeah.
Cup of.
Yeah.
Cup of sugar, cup of flour, cup of blackberries.
And there you go.
Put some milk in there, mix it up. But blackberries are one of those things that they're so good. I would love to grow them instead of have to go find them in the wild.
And to buy them in the stores, they are expensive, and because they are a very perishable crop.
Yeah, they go bad quick.
They go bad very quickly. So you have to get them, rinse them and use them promptly. I don't recommend washing fruit until you're getting ready to use it. Same thing with any produce. Don't pick your tomatoes, bring them in the house and wash them off. You will watch them go bad in a very big hurry. You pick the one you're going to get, wash it, slice it, and eat it. Don't wash them and set them on the counter or anything like that, because the pores of the plant of that vegetable, that
when you
fruit,
wash them, you open them.
It just pulls any bacterium from the outside right into the fruit, causing it to rot.
And here's a hint, folks. 99.9% of household kitchens are dirtier than the dirtiest commercial kitchen you would ever run into.
Right. Yeah.
People don't realize, they think that their home kitchen is clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a petri dish.
It can be. Yes, it can be.
No matter what. People don't clean correctly. They leave the sponge. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, throw that sponge in the dishwasher when you run the dishwasher.
And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the reason your vegetables go bad so quick is that people do that. They bring them home, they wash
them all and put them in the fridge.
Put them in a bowl or a fridge, and there's bacteria everywhere that gets in these.
And it's on them. And adding moisture. The drawers in my refrigerator have a little slide. Yeah. One has vegetables pictures on it, and one has fruit pictures on it. So if you have two of them, keep one for your fruit, one for your veggies, and that way your humidity levels are more correct inside that refrigerator in that crisper drawer. Tomatoes don't go in the fridge unless they're already sliced.
Right.
Yeah, if you've cut a tomato.
Cucumbers don't go in the fridge unless they're already sliced.
Cucumbers, I have an issue. If you don't keep cucumbers, because they have a tendency to refrigerate those cucumbers in transit and in the stores, and they start to sweat on the counter, and then you lose your cucumbers. But if you grow them yourself, keeping it on the counter.
But we eat them fast enough too.
Yeah. And there's even I think they call them berry boxes that I have two. I have two different sizes of them, and those keep the berries. If you've rinsed some off, or if you got a few left, and throw them in there, those will keep real well because they have a little raised tray in the bottom of it, and that helps somehow or another. That keeps them really well. I know there's a lot of people who recommend rinsing them with a spoonful of vinegar in the water to help cut out any bacterium and things like that, or help to keep them preserved better. You see on Facebook, you'll see one going around on keeping strawberries in a mason jar, and it keeps them better. But if you actually read that, they've washed those berries, they've dried those berries before
Got the moisture's off of it.
So the moisture's off. Well, if you have the moisture off, they're going to keep in the fridge pretty good too. That's it's moisture.
Susan has a vacuum pack.
Ooh. Vacuum seal.
She vacuum seals everything. So you you get fresh fruit and vacuum seal it, put it in the freezer. It'll last forever.
Oh, yeah.
Smoothies.
Yeah.
That's what we're using for smoothies right now. It's fresh fruit that's been vacuum sealed.
There you go.
So, but, people don't think about doing that with fruit this time of year, or that fruit can grow this time of year.
And strawberries freeze very easily. You take and say, wash your berries, have them, lay them out on a parchment on a cookie sheet, and if you have a nice big freezer, just set that in there, freeze them for a few hours, and then throw them in your Ziploc bag, or vacuum sealer kind of thing, and pull all that air out, and yes, they'll keep. Blueberries also freeze very well and are just so nice and handy that, you can reach in that bag or box that you've got them in and throw a handful in the blender with some milk or yogurt, your favorite protein powder, and you're good to go on a good quick breakfast. Yeah.
But you
and a lot less expensive than going somewhere and buying
that's
500
what we found.
The smoothie you buy out in the smoothie shop, $7, and the calories and the sugar content in that is outrageous. Where at home you can reduce that by using unsweetened yogurt. You could,
we use the Greek yogurt,
your Greek unsweetened or non-sugar sweetened, using the ones with the stevia in it. Your fresh fruit in there, not filling it up with fruit juice that's got tons of sugar in it.
We do it with fresh fruit,
a splash of almond milk, or and things like that. You really do lower your calorie count down. And still have good flavor. You're using fresh banana to thicken that up.
I certainly would. Fresh banana every morning. Yeah. Good morning. You're on with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
Hey, good morning, Tom. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning.
There's a little store downtown Ocala on 14th Street that has one of the best ways to put a preservative coating on strawberries. It's right next to Big Hammock Brewery. I think it's Ocala's chocolate. Anyway, they dip the strawberries in chocolate.
Oh,
You know, they don't last long enough to go bad.
I was gonna say, anytime I've done that, I've never had an issue with the strawberries going bad when I've dipped them in chocolate. They seem to vanish though. They disappear rather quickly.
Yeah, it's like it's disappearing potion.
Look, if you're going to bring up the chocolate confectionery, you better go buy the little white box and bring it by the studio. That's all I'm telling you.
But that, yes.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks for the call, Joe.
And this is a perfect time too. Is that it's Valentine's, strawberries are in season, chocolate covered strawberries for your sweetheart.
You know she's listening. Stop.
So, yeah, but you can even make them yourself.
I was going to get the $1.99 box of 4 pieces of chocolate from the
from Walgreens.
From Walgreens. Get the one little fake rose and then some stupid little 99-cent card.
You stop by the
I'm
dollar.
splurging.
You stop by the Circle K and get the rose out of the.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It comes with
You're not spending $300.
Crack pipe included. Yeah.
You're not spending $300 on Valentine's Day.
Look, it's a contrived holiday
from Hallmark,
created by a card company.
Hallmark needed something between Christmas and Mother's Day.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was.
And actually, even Mother's Day and Father's Day were also created.
For Hallmark.
For Hallmark. Yeah. Who invented Grandparents? I mean, Grandparents' Day is what? One of
Hallmark.
The newest holidays, because that came about when I think I was a kid.
Hallmark.
Yep.
You know, they have a Radio Host Appreciation Day. Now, that's a good day.
They have Master Gardener Appreciation
Day.
They do.
Too. That's a good day,
that's
too.
That's a good day, too.
Actually,
you know what? Master Gardeners usually get a week, and that's for when the Spring Festival,
right,
that the county does actually
By the
have
way,
a
today,
proclamation.
Bringing that up today, let me just put this in your bonnet.
Okay.
This bee in your bonnet.
All righty.
Today's National Pizza Day.
Oh. See, I
let me put that bee in your bonnet, Carolyn.
And see, I also got the text message that a certain sandwich shop has double points today.
There you go. See?
And it's like my favorite sandwich.
It's still National Pizza Day.
Yeah.
I can see Formaggio's in my future.
In your future.
See Formaggio's in my future. Carolyn, so if people, we've talked a lot about what we need to do, that people are getting itchy. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They can start getting their soil ready and stuff,
putting
topsoil on, stuff like that. There's a lot they can do right now.
You can get the beds ready to plant. If you're planting, say, a butterfly garden, there's no better time than when it's cooler to handle all those bags of soil or getting that truckload of compost or whatever to add to the garden.
Can I mulch right now around my bushes and everything?
You can get your mulch going, and after a good rain, like this, that's a good time that you actually want to water before you put mulch down. So, hey, we're getting some free water there, and you can get the mulches down. You can clean that stuff up. Just hold off on, I would hold off on really doing any planting unless it's a cool season vegetable. Perennials and things like that, they're just not going to take off for you until it warms up a bit. So, hold on to hold on to your horses, and we'll get it going. Well, spring's coming. Just going to be a little on there.
It'll be a little while still.
It'll be a little while. Yeah.
If people want to find you, Carolyn, where can they go?
Look us up on the In the Garden Facebook group page, and then if I'm not off, like on a day like today, they'll find me down there at Lowe's and Lady Lake.
Carolyn Baldwin, Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin. She's here every Tuesday. Carolyn, talk to you next week.
Yes.
We'll be right back after this timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
White House science advisor resigns after internal probe found he bullied staffers.
If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot.
That was not the case, as Eric Lander, President Biden's science advisor, was allowed to resign last night after an internal investigation showed evidence that he bullied subordinates. Lander took responsibility for his actions and says he was devastated for causing hurt to past and present colleagues. On the Ukraine front, President Biden said the Russian-built Nord Stream 2 natural gas pipeline to Germany would be suspended if Russia invades Ukraine. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz offered support without explicitly saying the project would be halted. The Supreme Court reinstated an Alabama congressional map that a lower court said diluted the power of black votes, saying that the court would pay more attention to challenges to voting maps. USA Radio News.
Fever is a potential sign of COVID or the flu, and the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Exergen temporal scanners, available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
At the American Veterinary Medical Association annual convention in Washington, D.C., I spoke with Dr. John Howe, AVMA president, about One Health.
One Health is really a collaboration between physicians and veterinarians or public health officials. For example, in Minnesota, our state public health veterinarian deals with zoonotic diseases, rabies, for example. Animals are sentinels for humans, and humans are sentinels for some infections in animals.
There's more valuable information at avma.org.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg on
some of the prettiest flowering shrubs to add to your landscape. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried. Everyone knows Florida grows the world's best produce. From citrus to strawberries, watermelon to blueberries, our produce growers feed our families and the world. With over $125 million in annual revenue for growers, the Fresh from Florida program helps Florida farmers